What's up, guys? Welcome back to the doctor's office. I am Dr. Kaori Knight, here to give you proper diagnosis and prognosis and everything comics and comic book characters. Absolute Flash. Honestly, this particular book of Absolute Flash really kind of just served as a name drop, which I'm perfectly fine with, because it's introducing more people to the story who are going to be interacting with Wally, in that substitution of Barry Allen, because again, he doesn't have a mentor. In the normal Flash case, Barry Allen would be his mentor, but Barry Allen is dead. So at the beginning of the story, he gets to a moment, I believe it's around the time that he had actually buried his mom, and him and his father had buried his mom, and he's kind of just talking about that and the fact that, she's not there to be with him anymore. And he gets to that area and he has like a vision of someone asking him to help. That could be literally anybody. That could be his mom, that could be Barry, because again, in the last issue, as we saw when he was running away, Barry Allen was quite literally tethered to him and the skin was like melting off of his body. So, at that point, it could be anybody. But he is currently with Grodd, and he mentions that since he's been with Grodd, he has been surprisingly calm. And that just contributes to Grodd's power, like the mental psionics that he has as power, because he's been able to, calm him down, in which he has been in a constant state of panic, like literally this whole entire time. So they are in Central City and they're in this line for homeless people and giving food, and somebody comes up to him and asks him how old he is, and of course this very strange man that I've never met or seen before came up to me to ask me how old I am. I too would be on the defensive. However, it's a guy who's like, hey, there's a place down here for teenagers. I was just wondering how old you were, because you can actually go down there and get food, and we have beds instead of waiting here in this line. And he gives him his card and it says Dibney Mission. Right, you see where I'm at. Okay. Meanwhile, back in the desert, that team that's trying to catch them, or trying to catch him, they are still trying to figure out what the hell happened and how it is that they actually lost him. And there's an after trail that's there, that the small girl in the overall, I think her name is Jessie, that she tries to touch and it literally blows up. And his father is just like, what the hell are y'all doing? Honestly and truly, how is it that y'all lost him at this point? And it's just he should not be doing the things that he's doing at the age that he is. None of this should be happening, and the fact that it is absolutely fucking insane. So while Wally, and of course before even all of that, his father is just like, we need to go back and see what the fuck Barry Allen was working on. Okay, sure. But while they are in Central City, they are in the Iron Heights area. He did meet a girl named Linda. She goes and she sits next to him. She's like, do you want to be alone? He's like, no, it's cool, you can sit down. And so she introduces herself, he introduces himself, and she's like, have you been in here long? He's like, how do you know I'm not from here? She's like, you look a little bit too hopeful, actually. So I definitely know you're not from here. And so he's like, I'm not really from anywhere. My father's in the military, so we move around a lot. And she's like, so is that what you're running away from? He was like, yeah, and other things. And the whole time, Grodd is actually in his backpack, and he's feeding him apple slices and things from his tray. So he's not necessarily eating all of the food, but he is eating some of it. And she also does mention that Ralph and Sue are actually really, really nice, and that, it's cool to be there when you are in between situations, is basically what she was saying. So he does ask Linda what she's running away from, but she doesn't say anything. And so he was like, sorry. And she's like, no, it's cool. She's like, you can also have my food, because I saw you scarf yours down in 3 seconds. So, and they kind of just, tell each other they'll see each other around. So he does end up going to his room. He does have a roommate. The roommate's kind of just listening to music, so he's not really paying him any attention. And Ralph does come in and it's like, hey, you made it after all. And he's like, yeah, He's like, cool, here's toothbrush, toothpaste, anything else that you might need here. And also, we only have 3 rules here. No fighting, no drugs, and everybody takes a shift cooking or cleaning. He's like, and you can talk to Sue about that. He's like, is any of that going to be a problem? He's like, absolutely not, no sir. And he's like, sir, please, just call me Ralph. At that point, he does try to check on Grodd and see if, it's cool that they stay there a couple of days. That he thinks that it'll be safe. However, Grodd's not in there and he has escaped through the window. Great. And then after that, we see Colonel West is in Barry Allen's lab when Dr. Thorne Dr. Thawne? Jesus Christ. Dr. Thawne comes in and is like, what are you doing here? And he was like, that's not even the question. The question is, what the fuck was Barry Allen working on in here? And she's trying to say that it wasn't really any of his business and that everything that they were doing was like for the betterment of science and things like that. And he's just like, I'm like, huh? And she's basically talking about Wally as if he's going to be a future experiment. And he's like, my son is 15 years old and not an experiment of yours. And she's like, actually, he was a 15-year-old. Right now, he's a fucking miracle. Okay? And then she starts talking about all of the other things that escaped from this laboratory that aren't just Wally. Right? And so then we have this shot of all of the pods that are broken. So there's Project X, there's several X's there, so it doesn't really say anything. Project Heatwave has also escaped. Project Wizard is out of there, and Project Firestorm is definitely out of there. So we currently have a problem, right? So after that, we do get a shot of Wally looking for Grodd, and Grodd keeps talking about hot, it's hot, it was hot in the bed, and so he's trying to understand exactly what it is that he's talking about. And Dr. Thawne also says that, they are able to track where Wally is through Grodd, so they are tracking the both of them, and it's going to lead them to them. But right now, they are up against Heatwave in an alley. So I really like this issue. I thought this issue was really fun. Again, it's basically a name dropping issue, which is completely fine because now you're getting a good look at the players that are coming in, and the fact that he is about to have to go up against Heatwave first is very interesting. Ralph and Sue Dibney being dropped in so early, being dropped in at all really, is also very interesting. So I'm kind of excited. I'm excited to see what it is that they do here with this, because this is, of course, completely different in origin, right? As always, the art, fabulous. I want to see his relationship with Grodd for sure as a development, because they have the two of them together. And Grodd is typically a villain or part of the Flash Rogues Gallery, so it should be very interesting. But that is it for this episode of The Doctor's Office. If you haven't gotten the book, get the book. I do have another book coming out July 4th called Salt Blood, and you guys will get the link for that as well. And but you can also go to the Shadow Library. I will put it in the description. Go to the Shadow Library, sign up for the emails, and of course, if you haven't heard or listened to Ghastly Gospels, please do, because Ghastly Gospels is so much fucking fun. And that's it. And I will see you guys at your next checkup.